Hey everybody, it's Addie here, and I am back with another book review for the year. Um, this last week, I read Lighting Their Fires, How Parents and Teachers Can Raise Extraordinary Kids in a Mixed Up, Muddled Up, Shook Up World. And so last week I told you I started this before I did the other book review because I was so excited and it was just so good. This was a quick read. It was about 192 pages, and it's written by a teacher, and so I'm going to go ahead and read the little description, and then we're going to dive into how it was. Rafe Esquith has been hailed one of the best teachers in America, and his students at Hobart Elementary School are bright, selfless, and filled with promise. In Lighting Their Fires, he translates the secrets of his inspiring classroom techniques into tips for parents. The key, he explains, is that kids aren't born extraordinary. They become that way as a result of parents and teachers who instill values that guide them not just in school, but for the rest of their lives. Here, using lessons framed around a class trip to Los Angeles Dodgers baseball game, Esquith moves inning by inning through concepts that helps kids build character and develop enriching lives. From creating an awareness of time management to nurturing good decision-making and instilling the value of sacrifice, he shows parents how to teach their children to be honorable people and successful students, and to have fun in the process. This is a book for parents, teachers, relatives, and anyone else who believes in going the extra mile when it comes to raising kids we can all be proud of. All right, so this book, I said I was going to tell you where I found it. I'll tell you at the very end of this video. But this book is really, it's not like a teacher guide or a parent guide. It's more of, it gives you insight into how to raise an extraordinary kid in our society that we're living in today. We hear often that he has natural talent, or she's just naturally smart, or she's just gifted. And these terms are used over and over and over again. And what that actually does is that inhibits that kid from being able to grow. It makes them think that they don't have to work hard for anything, that their accomplishments are all because of who they are and not how hard they've tried or what they've done or the work they've done. And failures, they take them very hard, because if they think they're naturally gifted, then when they're failing at something, then they see, oh, I'm not good at something. And it's hard for them to grasp the fact around that they can grow and they can still get there because they think they can naturally do it. And if they can't naturally do it, what's the point of trying, right? And so this was really enlightening. It made me super excited for, I'm a teacher, and so just instilling these concepts in my students is really important. And it excites me for when I have kids, because there's so many things in here that I want to do, and so many ideas and things that I just resonated with inside and that I truly believe. And so if you're a parent or a teacher, I would definitely say pick this book up. It was really fun to read. And so a couple of things that stood out to me in this book, not just the concept of growth, but the idea of giving a child a toolkit, almost a backpack for success, for them to break through those levels of mediocrity and for them to rise up and become an extraordinary person. And one of those things that I believe our society struggles with today is focus. And we see it all the time. I mean, we have TVs everywhere. People have TVs at the gas station, in every room in their house. There's monitors in the hallways, there's advertisements, there's all kinds of things to grab our attention. And so focus is something that is definitely lacking in our society today. It's definitely something that a lot of people struggle with, even myself. There's times where I'm trying to do my work, trying to read, and I find myself like, oh, okay, I want to move on. Like, we're training our brains to process things quickly and move on to the next thing. And so everything's been tailor fit to that, like the advertisements, the movies, everything's been tailor fit to keep our attention, because if they can't, we're going to move on to something else. And so with that is the idea of expanding our focus. And I truly believe that reading these books and making myself sit through a 200 or 400 page book in a week's time is really stretching my capability to sit and focus, because there's some books that I've said, oh, they're so interesting and I just can't put it down. And then there's other books where I'm like, this book is so boring and I can't wait to get through it. But what I do is I sit there and I read through it so that I can expand my focus. And I'm finding out that I actually have increased my attention span, and I've increased my ability to grasp the concepts from the books and grasp and use connections from the outside world and really think about things differently, not just read the words on the page and try to understand it. But I'm able to make connections a lot more quickly. And so focus is something I believe that we have to work on as a society. And so some of the things that he suggests to help kids improve their focus are things like, like literature, reading books. Obviously, that's like number one. Reading books helps kids to sit there and focus, doing puzzles, making, and this third one I'm about to say is something I never thought of, but I actually want to get into it, but doing modeling. And so if you've ever gotten a little kit or something to build a model airplane or build a model boat or whatever, not only does that improve a child's focus, but it also improves their problem-solving skills as they're putting that together. If they're doing it with a friend, it improves their communication skills as they're learning and figuring out how to put this thing together. And then there's a sense of accomplishment. There's a sense of, I worked hard and I was able to sit there and focus. And so when they come across challenging situations later on, they're not easily going to give up. They're not easily going to say, oh, forget it, I can't do it, I'll give it to someone else. No, they'll be more likely to sit there, to work through the process, to really figure it out. And so hearing that suggestion, I was like, that is so good. And so another thing he talked about was, and let me see if I can find it. It was like the Kohlberg six steps. Lawrence Kohlberg's 6 levels of moral development. So Kohlberg's simple hierarchy identifies 6 reasons people are motivated to behave in certain ways. At each successive level, the reason becomes more complex and less tethered to a basic system of stimulus and response. So here's the 6 levels. Level 1, I do not want to get in trouble, and that's their motivation to do something. Level 2, I want a reward. Level 3, I want to please someone. Level 4, I always follow the rules. Level 5, I'm considerate of other people. And level 6, I have a personal code of behavior. And so basically what Rafe suggests is that children are better off when they develop their own personal code of behavior. When they get to that point where they're not just trying not to get in trouble, not just trying to make someone happy, not just trying to get something, but because they personally believe in that and they personally want to follow that, that's when kids they do a lot well. And so it takes patience to get there. Like, no kid's just going to jump to, I'm just going to do this because it's the right thing to do. Like, no. Like, obviously they work through the levels till they get there. But definitely working on things like focus and just challenging a child in different ways and not just measuring them up to a grade or a number. And that's like really hard, is that oftentimes parents or teachers or whoever will see a kid just as their success. They got an F, so they're a bad student. They can't focus. They're always getting in trouble. Or they got an A, they're so smart, and I can always count on them, and they're responsible. And so we give these qualities and attributes based on meaningless things like numbers and grades, when we should really be looking at the growth that we're seeing in a kid. How well are they able to focus? Are they able to have a personal code of behavior? Are they able to love learning? And I was talking to my husband about this, that we've kind of lost the love for learning in our society as well. We want to know things, but we don't want to learn them, if that makes any sense. So the difference I say between knowing and learning is, oh, I know that the sky is blue. We all know the sky is blue. But the learning part is why. The learning part is being curious about it. Why is the sky blue? How does it get that way? What elements in the atmosphere create this blue sky. And so for a child to have that curiosity and have that love of learning is really going to push them forward to be successful in everything they do, and to take the regular things in life and transform them into something that's amazing. And so I think I'm going to stop there, but I would give this book a 9. I loved it. It was funny. It was interesting. It really spoke to me. It really encouraged me as a teacher and as a future parent to raise somebody that's going to be amazing in our society, that won't attribute to the statistics that we hear and all the things that we're seeing, but will surpass that and hopefully help teach other kids how to do that as well. And so this is the end of my book review. I am actually not going to say what I'm going to read next week. I will let that be a surprise, and you'll just have to come back and see what I'm going to read for next week. Oh, before I forget, I told you all that I would tell you where I found this book. So I love going to the Dollar Tree, if you don't know. Like, I do preschool, so I go there to find stuff or whatever. And I was running through the Dollar Tree, and I noticed they had a book section, which I was like, oh, cool. That's not like the Dollar Tree to have. And I was going through all the books, and I had some really good books. So I actually found this book at the Dollar Tree, which is like, what? And it's an amazing book. It retails for about $16, but I got it for $1, which is awesome. I don't think it really matters where you get your books from. Like, sometimes I check out thrift stores. Sometimes I get it from Amazon.com. Sometimes I get them from friends. So as long as you're reading and you're learning, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter where you get them from. But if you want to check this book out, it's a great book. And I think that is all I have for you. If you have questions or comments or concerns or anything like that, or you want to comment on the whole knowing versus learning thing and what you think about that, please comment below. And I think that is it. And I will see you all next time. Bye.